Back with you on the next round, getting ready to head up to Nashville for the SEC tournament. On Friday, we'll be doing our show live. Stephen Pearl will laugh at this. We'll be doing our show live from the bar called Losers on Boardwalk. A great place right across from the arena. So come in on Friday before you go watch Alabama and Auburn get into action. Let's talk a little Auburn basketball.
I mean, Coach, if ever there were a bar made for Dunaway, it would be named Losers, right?
Oh,
Very, very fitting, boys. Just very, very fitting. You know, there's like a Winners that's like next door to that place too. You guys could have picked that as well.
You know, they picked it for us. They were like, "You guys will do Losers. We'll send the crowd to win."
So apparently, you're familiar with both, though, right?
Yeah, I've spent a few nights in Nashville. I'm guilty.
Yeah.
That's where I met Brittany. So it all worked out.
There you go.
Good place.
You got to be careful with the Boardwalk girls now. Come on. Broadway girls, yes.
Broadway, no Broadway.
So your team expended a ton of energy and emotion and all of that in that Alabama game. Very, very emotional game. So how proud were you for, and some would call it a must-win, whatever you want to call it, against Tennessee, the way they responded after that emotional spend against Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, very proud of just the way they bounced back. You know, lesser team would have, ducked their head and let that kind of carry over into the next game. And, our guys have pretty short memories, which is a good thing and a bad thing. And they were able to kind of put that behind them pretty quickly and, hang their hat on knowing that, like we talked about last time, we're playing good basketball. We just hadn't been able to finish a few of these games down the stretch on the road. So understanding that, they still had the confidence to kind of go in there and beat a really good Tennessee team.
And how about that defense down the stretch? Tennessee missed their last 7 shots. You guys held them scoreless over the final 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we made an adjustment late, just, obviously putting Zep Jasper in the game the last 6 minutes to allow him to guard Vescovi, it was huge. And, Zep wanted that matchup. And, we weren't as worried about Wendell having to guard, Julian Phillips or Josiah James, because Wendell's able to kind of get in there and make plays and get steals, whereas Zep is he's a pest, and he'll chase Vescovi around and get through ball screens and get through those pin downs better than anybody on our team. And, Vescovi had 20-something going into that final stretch, and he really wasn't able to score the last 5-6 minutes. So, having been down 3 and then obviously winning the game by 9, our guys did a really good job late of getting stops, getting rebounds, keeping them off the offensive glass, guarding without fouling, and then converting on the offensive end.
Listen, I know none of us are quote-unquote bracketologists, but I felt like that punched your ticket to the NCAA tournament, and I don't think – you can drop no matter what happens in Nashville seating-wise. I think it can only go up for you guys. Was there a little bit of a celebration in that locker room because of that? And can you allow yourself to think like that as a coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, that's just the reality of it. That game was a quad 1 opportunity. Tennessee was like number 4 or 5 in the net. So like that, is one of the better wins in our league, especially one of the best ones of the season for us. So, if you look at all the different, the bracket matrix stuff, all of our seeding moved from like an 11 to an 8 or a 9. So, we felt pretty comfortable and confident knowing that if we won that game, we should feel pretty good about our chances getting into the NCAA tournament. So I wouldn't call it celebration. It was just a huge sigh of relief and a big weight off our shoulders because, we had been kind of carrying that around for 3 games with Kentucky, at Alabama, and then Tennessee at home, knowing that, one of those games probably gets you in. If you win 2 of them, obviously it continues to improve your seeding. And then, opening the SEC tournament, we play Arkansas, and as a 10 seed, they're analytically they're like top 20 in the country in all metrics, and for that to be the 10 seed in our league just shows you how insane this league is this year and how tough of a league it is.
Auburn assistant Stephen Pearl with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. I wanted to mention that as a 7th seed, your potential path is nothing but top 20 net teams. I mean, I don't know that it's possible to get a more difficult draw as a 7th seed.
Well, I mean, if you look at, our SEC conference schedule, usually the SEC will do this after you win a championship, and hopefully they do it to Alabama next year. But, we play A&M twice, Tennessee twice, Alabama, who's obviously always we play them twice every single year. Then we go at Kentucky, at Vanderbilt. So, you're playing 3 of the top 4 teams twice, and then you're on the road at Kentucky, at Vanderbilt. So, we had a really tough stretch as far as conference schedules go, but it's only all it really can do is help you improve your resume and help you get ready for the opponents that you're going to play in the NCAA tournament. I mean, look, Arkansas is in 8-9 right now. That's the first game that we would play right now in the NCAA tournament where it's looking at. So it's a really good barometer for us to kind of get ready for that first round matchup. Then after that, Texas A&M, would be a team that you could play, later in the bracket. These are all just great tests for us to kind of get ready and show our guys where we're at. But yeah, the stretch has been difficult, but you look at our Final Four run, we played, Kansas, Kentucky, and North Carolina. So it's never going to be easy. But I think our guys have been battle tested enough this year to be ready for it.
As a player, did you ever look at the metrics and bracketology, and how often do you do it now as a coach?
Well, when I was a player, they didn't have all that stuff. It was just, Lenardi was like your only source. So never looked at it as a player because as a player, you have so much other stuff going on that you're not, social media wasn't as big as it was when I was playing. It just kind of started, but our guys don't really look at it. They see the stuff when we get into the film room. We'll show them what the net is and where we rank in the SEC and all that stuff. But I don't think they pay as much attention to it. Now, as a coach, I'm refreshing that damn website like probably 20 to 25 times a day just to see if anything changes. Because as a coach, you're just, you're just wrapped up in it and you see it a lot. So even last year when we were, fighting for a 1 or a 2 seed, same type of deal. So you're always kind of looking to see who's saying what and where they have you placed.
Dude, you make it sound like you played back in the MySpace day. You didn't play that long ago.
I did play in the MySpace days. That was when MySpace was the thing. So I did actually play back then.
What was your MySpace song? Yeah, everybody had a song. Like when I went to the page, the song played. Do you remember yours?
Oh God, I couldn't even tell you what it was, honestly.
Oh, you're younger than that. Come
I'm
on.
not sure if I was that advanced having a song on my MySpace page. I don't know if I got that far.
So when we get to the SEC tournament too, but when we get to the NCAA, you mentioned bringing Zep in specifically for one matchup. Do you dial in some specialists when you get certain matchups like that? That okay, this may be a big Dylan Cardwell game when he gets healthy again, or this may be a big Zep game. When you're breaking down during the scout, you focus that okay, off the bench, this is going to be a big game for this guy because of what he can bring us either in a matchup offensively, but specifically defensively.
Yeah, I think defensively more than anything is when you'll look at certain lineups to see who needs to be out there. Obviously we look at all the efficiencies as far as lineups go, plus minuses on who's good out there together. And Zep has analytically been, in the best of all of our offensive and defensive lineups. So, as a staff, we should probably be playing him more because he does such a great job, one, offensively of not turning the ball over. He'll take open shots, and it allows other guys like Janai and Wendell, Al, and Jalen to get more shots up. And then on the other side of that, defensively, he's going to guard as hard as anybody on the floor, and that's contagious. So, guys like that. And you're right, like Dylan Cardwell, another guy that, defensively can move his feet probably a little better in ball screens. So if you're playing a team that's got really quick guards, and it hurt us against Alabama because Dylan got in foul trouble early. But teams that have quick guards, you like having Dylan out there because he's able to impact ball screens. He's able to really, get after it in his ball screen coverages. And if we do have to switch, he does a great job of moving his feet. So, we'll look at that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to have your best players out there at the end of games and got to trust that those guys can go in there and get you a win.
My random Nelly question today: when you and Brittany travel, do y'all ever take Nelly with you?
If it's a short trip, yeah, but with hopefully a 5 or 6 day trip. We'll have somebody watching her back in Auburn, and you'll appreciate this. I figured you guys might be in cahoots together because the other day she sends me a screenshot of a text from the breeder saying that we have a new litter coming in a few months. Do you want one? And Brittany's like seriously thinking about getting another one. So after we talked last time on the show, we're now looking at getting another damn dog. So thank you for putting that into the atmosphere.
I did not have any communication with her, but I'm thinking about a second one too.
Yeah, I'm glad to know she watches the show every day, though. That's my takeaway from that.
Obviously. So you guys will appreciate this. I guess in the last show, my in-laws live in Chico, California, and their friends are very tied into like Auburn basketball now. And they listened to the last show when you were talking about feeding food off the table, and we talked about my mother-in-law doing it. So one of her friends told her that, and she got a real kick out of it. So you guys have fans out in Northern California now.
Love it.
Hello, Chico. Welcome in. All right, Coach. Good luck. It's coming up Thursday night. Auburn, Arkansas, SEC Network, 6 o'clock from Bridgestone. We wish you the best of luck, Coach. We'll see you in Nashville.
Thanks, fellas. Wario, good to see you guys.
All right, buddy. You too. Take care. Stephen Pearl, the Auburn assistant coach with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.